that's a big number. Big numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode.
Camara Drive-In. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Buccaneers set to take over. Jameis Winston at the controls. And it's a big season forthcoming for the #1 overall pick back in 2015. You look at the numbers, just 21-33 as a starter during his tenure. But the hope now is that renowned quarterback whisperer Bruce Arians can breathe some new life into him in 2019.
Black 25, coming. Down to lose 1.
Andre Ellington, his first carry. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 31, Winston, and Watson has it right side. 4 yards the pickup, first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago. Demario Davis, who was the Saints' leading tackler in his first year in New Orleans, in on the stop. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They go play action. Winston under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Demario Davis has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Off the play fake, Winston airing this one out for Evans. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Breeze now. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Ready. 95-56, 95-56.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Winston and the Bucs take over now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Ellington. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. A look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
They held them to just 7 points, and in reviewing the game tape, I'm wondering how they got to 7. I actually wrote a note to myself. How did they even score? The way they were playing, absolutely dominating on their side of the ball.
Wait. 47 to Mike, 47. Check, 47.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A.J. Klein, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Tackle made there by Jonathan Cyprien.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. He'll let this go for the end zone. Looking for Thomas, he's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away.
And Alway takes off with it. It's a fake. And did he get the football to break the play? No, he did not. They'll say he's out of bounds shy of the goal line, and they'll be denied on the 2-point conversion. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, Barber. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On 3rd down, Winston. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. A reminder that coming up later tonight, a good one on Sunday Night Football. We'll see what could have been a playoff matchup a season ago. The Bears and the Rams from L.A. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football from down in Mexico. Mexico City, to be precise. The Chiefs and the Chargers going at it. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there out of Kamara. 63 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On the ground, this is Kamara. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Running with Kamara. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of time.
And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Barber on 1st and 10. A gain of 3, second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice. And the Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They begin on the ground with Kamara. They find some open field here. Nice stiff arm.
Underused, but still effective.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Winston now to throw on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman. That'll bring up second down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Winston leaves it with Barber on the draw. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Ready? White 25. Hey, sub.
3rd and long for Winston. He'll find Barber out of the backfield. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. A final shot before half for Breeze. Looking long for Tom. It's caught inside the 25. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll start with a good one in the NFC South. Carolina playing host to Atlanta, and that one finds the Falcons out in front. Devontae Freeman, a touchdown run in that first half. From there, we head up to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. Sam Darnold with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they trail the visiting Cowboys at halftime. Big Zeke, Ezekiel Elliott, 2 touchdown runs. In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. His guys have just about put this one on ice already. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right. right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Fielded about a yard deep. Latavius Murray. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. From one end zone to the other, 101 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. He covered every yard of the field plus one in the end zone. A 101-yard return there. Electric. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Winston gives to Barber, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. On the ground, Ellington. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in.
Touchdown, New Orleans! It's a punt return score of 70 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there.